Well, hello there. Okay, I'm going to start off giving you just a bit of a few tips that I like to use and do while I'm training with these algos through Python, and really just for any language that you want to work on. So for you, it might be JavaScript or Python, whatever. So what I like to do, so where I'm at is this Code Wars. Whoa. That's not what I want to do. So I'm at Code Wars, and it's really easy. You can sign up, get a profile, and what I have set it at. So each of these problems are called a kata, so they have different levels. There's like 8Q, which is the basic beginner. And I've chosen the fundamentals because I want to build up on my fundamentals of Python. And of course, here's the language. You can choose whatever language you want this to be in. JavaScript. It'll probably look a little different. But I've decided to go, here you go. So now this is converted to JavaScript. But I'm going to keep it at Python because that's what I'm working on. And over here is you can choose the version. I'm choosing it as the latest version of the language that I want to play with. So before I even start working on one of these, I found this really great tool that I've been using. It's called Notion. It's free up to a certain point, but I've gotten, it's like 1,000 blocks or something like that. I don't know how they measure that, but whatever. It's free for now. And so what I like to do, I've kind of organized, the way that I've organized it is I have like all of my notes here. I'm working on some TypeScript as well. I do Python and HackerRank and JavaScript HackerRank. But here, specifically, I've chosen to do Python Code Wars and just kind of focus on it. So I've separated them into the two different ones that I've currently been working on. So I'm slowly trying to work my way up the ladder. These are all of the 8Q katas or problems that I have worked on, and so I keep track of them, right? And what I do is I make a copy of the problem, and then I offer my solution that I've worked on, and then a possible second solution, because once you have completed the kata, once you've submitted your solution to it, you can see all the other possible solutions that you could have gotten. Like, there's different ways to one problem. There's multiple ways of solving it. So I like to, see all the different ways, and then I like to add a caption here at the bottom. What's really cool with Notion is that you can add like this code block. So it looks, so instead of having to copy and paste, which I do, I can actually copy and paste it into a code block, and you can specify what language you're using. So in my case, I'm using Python. You can add a caption here at the bottom. With this solution, this is the first and only problem that I actually forfeited. I just, for some reason, could not get the if not array part, and this is just for this particular solution. So it was asking if the input is an empty array or is null, return an empty array. So what I had done was basically I was doing the positive integers and the negative integers and returning that array, which was great, but I couldn't get it so that it wasn't, getting the empty array. I don't know. It was like the one test I could not pass, and for some reason that day it wasn't clicking for me. So, and that's okay. If you forfeit a problem, you just don't get points for it, and you can go directly to see the solution, but I was kicking myself for not realizing that I could do this. I'm so dumb. But it's okay. And you see here, some people like to write notes for themselves. That's exactly what I did up here. I told myself I had to loop through the array. I need to check if the array is empty, write an empty array. I need to check if there's an integer, positive integer, all this stuff. So this is kind of how I walk myself through before I even do any of this stuff. I do a little bit of pseudocoding, essentially. So kind of figure out, okay, what is the logic and the way that I need to approach this before I even start. And it absolutely helps because it made me realize that the problem was asking for a count of positive numbers. And the second element is looking for a sum of negative numbers. So this is what it wanted to return. The count of the positive numbers, all of these positive numbers, and the sum of the negative numbers, which is that second number. And if there were no numbers in this array, then it just wanted an empty array as a return, which I couldn't figure out, but that's fine. That's fine. No problem. So I like to use this, as a reference as I keep going forward. It's great. I use them. I come back to them sometimes if I come across a problem where I'm like struggling and I'm like, oh, I've seen this before. Let me see if I could use that same approach here or modify it in a way, so on and so forth. Okay. With all that being said, let's get into it. We're heading into trying this out. I haven't even looked at this. This is new. Haven't tried it. So let's look at it. Okay. The instructions here says complete the solution so that it returns true. Complete this. So it wants to return true if the first argument string, so this first string that is passed in ends with the second argument also a string. So these two arguments here are both strings. And if this first string is passed in ends with this. So we want it to return true. So it's being passed in ABC, it gives it the ending, and it returns true. ABC gives it its ending, returns false. So we either want to return true or false. All right, cool. Seems easy enough, I guess. And down here you could see the tests. These are some of the tests that are going to be passing in. So Samurai is going to be that first text, and it wants to check if AI, the second part, the ending is AI. So this we know is going to have to return true. Right? This one also will probably want to return true. This one also will probably return true. Okay, so these are all true because these are fixed tests, and this one's false. So this one will return false. All of these will return false. Let's read what this test is doing. So false cases and true cases. All right, cool. So that's just looking at, I just like to see when I run this test, it's gonna show me some stuff. All right, so whoops, I did not mean to do that. Wow, I didn't know I can edit the sample tests. That's crazy. So in Python, this is basically how it looks. It's very similar to Ruby, so I'm sure it's not much of a big diff. The difference here is that you require a pass at the end or a return. So pass is basically to just pass over it. It doesn't have a return yet, so don't mark it as false or don't throw back an error at me. Don't raise an error at me. So it's always good to have a pass at the end if you need it. So I'm just going to console log just to show you how the test works. I'm going to console log text and ending. See what that looks like. Oh, we're not in JavaScript. I'm dumb. It's not a console log. It's a print. This happens to me all the time. Okay, here we go. So the first text, so it's going to run I'm assuming it's going to run all the true ones first and then the false ones afterwards. So I guess they split it up that way. All the false cases, all the true cases. All right, cool. Okay, so how am I going to test this? Let's see. So, okay. Luckily for Python, you could use a split in Python as well. So I think we could do something like text.split, And then let's see what that returns as. Maybe set it as a variable. So you don't need const or let for Python. You only need to just give it the variable name. So let's just do split, and they work in snake case. Split text. So it looks like that. Okay, and then I want to print console log the split text. There we go. All right, let's try that. Test. Cool. It did not split it. It just gave me it in a list, which is also known as an array. Okay, so it didn't split. Shite. Alright, this is when I start to look up ways that I can split a string. How to split a string in Python. Here we go. Split string. See, this is what I was doing. Why did it not work? Separator. We'll return with 2 elements. What does this return as? Yeah, this is what I want. I want it to split the entire string. All right. Why did that not work? Text dot split. Oh, maybe it doesn't need, okay. Maybe it doesn't need this sucker. Let's try that. Nope. Why isn't that working? Needs a string into a list. Split the string into a list. You can specify the separator, any white space. Let's see what this looks like. Why this no work? We're splitting the text. Print split text. What if I get rid of this pass? Nope. Did I spell it right? Could be. Oh, also in Python, the indents are super important. It's either 4 spaces or a tab. So super, super important in Python. Let's see, split. Let's just call it split. And now we're gonna print split. Do the thing. Just do it. Man, if I do that. Empty separator. Okay, there. Nope. This is annoying. Why is split not working? How to split a string in Python. Use a split method. Yeah. Split method splits a string into a list. You can specify. Yeah, we already did that. What's another way? I like this one. Geeks for Geeks is really great. Oh, yes. You gotta disable your blocker. Yeah, alright, refresh. Jesus. Okay. The string splits as this specified separator. If it's not provided, then any white space is a separator. So that's the separator, right? It returns a list of the strings after breaking the given string by the specified separator. Yeah, which is what we're trying to do. So we got a string, we're going to separate it by that, and then it gives it this. Got it. How split works, we got the text, print. Okay, we can try that. What if it's just one string? Okay, so I guess I'm not using it correctly. That's what I'm assuming here. How to split a single string. Specified separator. Okay. So, because these have separators in between them, and then you can separate them that way, right? This one is getting rid of all the spaces if you don't indicate it. Which down here, there you go. It just gives you that. This is separating it. That is a separator there. So it's removing that separator. This one is also removing this separator here. This one is removing it by the T. So the way that I'm using split isn't really working in this case. Okay, now I understand that part. Okay. What are, how to split maybe a single string? Character dividing. There we go. Let me look at this one. Yeah, so this is getting rid of the spaces. That's getting rid of all that. That's getting rid of all that. From version that splits from the right. What? I don't know if I want that. Let me see if I can figure out how to split by character. That's what I want. New line. You can split a string using the new line character in Python. We will return a string which will be separated by the new line character and then split the string. What? How do you split a word by character? Okay. Word counter. Interesting. Nope, this is not it. Well, I may just pause this video, see if I can find something. Here we go. Maybe this one. Okay, given a string, write a Python program to split the characters of a given string into a list of... Okay, let's try this. Here we go. That's what we want. This is what we want. Ooh, split a string into a Python list using unpack method. Okay. String equals geeks. Print. What? Seriously? Split a string into the Python list using a loop. Aha. You can loop through it. Nah. Split a string into a Python list using list comprehension. Sure. I think I want to do the easy one. Yeah, what is this nonsense? Let's try that. I'm gonna try that. Okay, split doesn't work. Now we know. Let's try this again. We're gonna call it split anyways. What was it again? No, we're not gonna call it split. Are we? No. We're gonna do this. Bam. Bam. And bam. And instead of calling it split, we're going to call it text because that's what we're trying to split. Let's try it. Oh, snap! Okay, we did it. Now, to figure out the last parts. Okay, so I'm thinking we might need to do, okay, so let's do here. Split the first string. So we've done that, check. Next is to probably, and put it into a list or an array, right? Then the next part, I think I want to do some type of conditional, right? We want to check if the second string is anywhere in, specifically towards the end. How do we then kind of specify it for the end of the array, the end of the list? Because I kind of want to look at, let me look at these. Yeah, because if I try to do a loop that matches this string to any part of this string, it needs to be strictly equal. Okay, I think no. This would pass as true. Am I wrong that this would pass as true? AILS. Why would this need to be passing as false? Am I wrong about that? Right? BC AILS. Same as this one. Why would this pass as false? Oh, because this has an F. I'm silly. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Sorry, I needed to double check that. Alright, so check if the second string matches the end of the first string, right? Now, I'm thinking we could do that through a loop. Loop through the new list and set a condition for true to return true or false, right? Okay. So I'm gonna get rid of that for now. And we're gonna, no, you know what? I'm gonna bring this back and I'm gonna set it to a variable. And I'm gonna call it new array. Bloop. Let's make sure this still works. Yes. Okay. Still got my thing. Okay. So with a for loop, we can do something like for for every letter in new array, we are going to check. We're going to compare this is the condition that I'm struggling with. Okay, so for every let, we're going to see if the letter, I don't know if strictly equal is going to work with the ending. And I wonder, actually, if we need to loop through the ending as well. Probably need to loop through them and then compare the two, right? So maybe a double loop. Okay. All right, let's try this. I don't know if that'll work, but fuck it, we're gonna try it anyways. We're gonna do a split of these two. Okay, so we're gonna do. We're gonna call this new list instead. New list, and then end list, and then we're gonna split this guy up. Ending. Okay, and then we're going to do for every let in the new array, and then for every letter in end list, we are going to compare these two. If let is maybe not equal to return false. If let else, we're just going to return true. I don't know, let's see. Test. Probably not. Yeah. Oh, I called it something else. I changed it. Test. Okay, we got some tests passing, but the others are not. I wonder how. A lot of the false ones are passing, but the true ones are not. Let us test. Let's print what letter is, and then let's also print what let is. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so all right, that's through the loop. That's why it's only showing me one letter at a time, and it's only choosing a letter per loop, I guess. All right, well, that's not going to work. I'm going to do some more looking up. How to set a condition for endings. Ooh, here we go. I like this. Ends with. Maybe this will work. Ends with method with the help of examples. All right, let's try. So ends with method returns true. Ooh, I like it. If a string ends with a specified suffix. If not, it returns false. Oh, maybe I don't need to loop. So ends with, check if the message ends with fun. Syntax with a string. So the string and then ends with, and then the suffix, start, end. Ends with parameters. It takes 3 parameters. A string, a tuple of suffixes to be checked, start optional, beginning position where suffix is checked within the string, and the ending position. Return value. So prints false. Programming text starts with programming Python. This will, of course, print as false. Ends with result. Text ends with Python, easy Java. I don't understand this part. With start and end parameter, programming is, string is checked. Let's see if this works. Let's try it. Ends with. I'm going to comment this guy out. And I'm going to comment all this out. For the time being. And let's try to do. Alright, so this says it takes in the text, and then you do the string, and then ends with. Alright, let's try this. So we're taking in the text. We're going to do a return. Nah, we're going to do a print. Oop. And it'll either return true or false. Okay, so text dot ends with ending. Boop. Hey, true, true, that's the log, true, 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 false, 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 false. Wow, that was easy. All right, let's return this puppy. Whoops. I love Google. Woohoo! We got him. I guess we didn't need to loop. I was making it way more complicated than it should have been. Let's get rid of that. This was really, really easy. Alright, so now that I've tested it and I've got all 12 of these test results passing, these cases, the ones that are in here, now I'm going to try to attempt it and see if any of the other hidden cases, because there are other, like a million other hidden cases, if you passed all of these tests, the test cases that are in here, these sample tests, then you'll most likely pass the hidden cases, especially in these earlier ranks. And I did see how like I have 112 test cases here. So these are the fixed tests and these are the random tests. So they all came back as good to go. Easy. Easy peasy. There we go, and I submitted it, and there you go. My solution ended up being the best practice. So they have like these different categories, and most clever. And now I can check to see whether, look at this, solution, return ending in string. So it looks like they were going to try to do the loop of some sort, some length here. Trying to do a test, a condition, if the string ends with ending, return true. That is kind of redundant because we know that ends with either returns true or false. So this is kind of stupid. Let's see, string 1 equals length of the string and then minus the length of the ending. Oh, so you could have tried to subtract the length of the ending from the length of the string here. Hey, that's a clever way of doing it. And then this third string they set here is the original string. And I'm not quite sure what this syntax is. They're trying to put a list of the first string, which is this, subtracting it. And then if third string is equal to the ending, return true, else return false. Hey, this isn't that bad, but it's a lot more code than just using the built-in ends with Python. I'm going to copy this one. This one's pretty cool. So what I like to do now is go back to my Notion. This is what I was showing you before. And I'm going to go and add this now as one of my solutions. So solution 1. And I'm going to put it in as code. And I think I copied, no I didn't. All right. Whoops. I think I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this guy. Copy. Paste. And I'm going to put in a caption. I like to put something as, this is under best practice, and it is clever and efficient. I like to add my own little property there. Solution 2 is going to be that other one that I looked at, which I kind of liked. Code. Let's see here. Where is it? I think this is a shorter version of what this is doing. But I don't like this one because the readability of it just doesn't really make sense. Hold on, let me see if I can try to read it. Okay, so return ending in string and then subtract the length of ending, and I can't remember what these two dots mean. I think it's something I can't recall. Like take it out, like remove it, maybe. I think that's what it means. But the readability of this just is terrible. Yeah, you can do this in a one-liner, but it doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, someone who's new to Python would not be able to read it, right? And you want whoever comes and looks at your code to be able to read it. So maybe the shortest ways aren't always the best ways, is what I've come to find. So like this makes a lot of sense. Ends with. This is a built-in Python method that you could use. And knowing that the test case wants to return either true or false, we know that, you know, this is either going to return either true or false. It's going to test whether the ending of that string that is being passed in, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Why didn't it? Okay, cool. So, which is why this is redundant. Okay, I want to copy this guy. So here is another one-liner that just is like, shut up. So, it's ridiculous. Same thing here. Easy peasy, this guy says. There's also these lambdas. I skip those. I don't understand what lambda is. It makes no sense. Here's some other ones. This is just too much. You don't need to go all. You don't need to do all that. I'm gonna copy the one that I have. I kind of like that one.
and boop. I'm going to save it right there. There we go. All right. And that is how I kind of do my katas. So, thanks for joining me on this ride. I'm sorry it took so long for me to figure it out. It's basically, that's the average length that it takes me to figure these stuff out. So, yeah. I'm going to see what the next one looks like. Next kata. Please give me a 7Q. Oh, it bumped me back to 8Q. I really enjoy starting off with a 7Q and then just keep going with more 7Qs, but I don't know why. It just bumped me back to 8Q. Whatever, dude. I'm gonna keep going. Okay.